To talk about that, we'll go way back to when I was 9 or 10 and actually started watching Star Trek in the early 70s and never stopped. Perhaps you can tell I'm a fan. Enterprise had been on, I think, for a couple of years, and Scott Booker, our manager for the Lips, was always on the lookout for celebrity sightings. And he was out at dinner in LA and saw Connor Trinneer, who is an actor on Enterprise, and went up to him, said he was a fan of the show and all this sort of stuff, and said that he managed the Flaming Lips, and it turned out that he and his future wife were fans of the band, and he sent them a big package of our music. So at some point, as the show was winding down, Connor had let Scott know that for the last 3 or 4 episodes, it was an open call for friends to come in and be on the show as background actors. And we were given the choice to be aliens or miners on the moon. We decided to be miners because you'd actually be able to see our faces and say, look, that's us on Star Trek. But it was a lot of fun. We went to LA and went to the Paramount lot and got to go into makeup. I think we did it for a couple of days. And Geordi La Forge directed the episode that we were in. So that was really exciting. And then I want to say, I'm not an actor. And I found this out when I was on this show. Geordi came up to me in between takes. And I don't know why he singled me out, but we were in this scene toward the end where the leader of the anti-Federation mob is giving this rousing speech, and we're all supposed to be in the crowd going, yeah, ah, and all this. And I don't know why I was singled out as the example, but he came up to me as he was talking to everyone and said this whole thing about, you have to be in the moment, you have to this and you have to that. And he like thumped me in my chest like, what? That was my extent of acting lessons there. It was fun to see how all that was done as an actual TV show that I actually watch, and to see the whole behind the scenes thing. And it was a lot like playing a show, a lot of hurry up and wait. You know, you do something and then you gotta wait, a couple hours could go by, and then, okay, now we're doing this thing. But it's still kind of funny to watch the episode, because especially right in the beginning, when the scene opens, because we weren't given any direction. So I remember Scott was on a laser mining driller gun, but nobody really said like, how is this actually gonna sound in real life? So I cover my ears and sort of move away. But then when I watch the final scene, Scott's just literally like holding this gun and a laser's coming out of it, just like. So if you happen to watch the episode, you can see me just doing it wrong, but they left it in, so it's kind of fun. There's another scene where somebody on the moon gets murdered and like they try to hide the body, and I get to be the guy that picks up the rock that does the face reveal. It was a lot of fun. And to be part of Star Trek history, even if it wasn't a in the front thing, it was still cool. But then I have another story of how much of a goofball I am for being a fan. I would walk around with this as my sort of my purse, and I was going through airport security one time, and I had this badge on it. And it goes through, and one of the TSA guys goes, "Thank you for your service." And I must have looked totally confused. And I went through the metal detector and it came out the other end, and I think then he realized it was not a whatever the space command thing is. I just thought it was funny. So that's my closest thing to being in Starfleet and being thanked for my service. Ta-da!